Hello class, I hope all is well. I'm going to show you in this short video how to use your library's databases, and I'm going to go right to the very beginning here. We're going to start by just opening the school's website and just at the main link there, and you will go to the library tab. You can always rewind this if I go too fast or you miss something, and then go to databases A through Z. And once you do that, you're going to look for the Opposing Viewpoints database, because you can see there are many here, and they're all in alphabetical order. The first database is pretty general. It has, well, the first two actually have pretty much everything in them. So you can always count on those. And also General One file, which I don't see, there it is, General One file. Also, those three are very general. But if you're looking for specifically argument or opposing views, persuasive debates, those types of articles, you want opposing viewpoints because those are opposing views and it'll help you. So I'm going to click on that. They also give you, what's really nice about opposing views is it gives you statistics, numbers, charts, graphs, and a lot of the other databases don't. You're going to have to sign in, which almost never works for me. Wow, it worked. Okay. Usually when I'm recording a video, suddenly my passwords are non-existent. All right, and so once you're in here, you can, this is small but helpful, this browse issues. It's easy to miss, but I suggest going here. You could also search your topic here. Let's say your topic for your blue collar essay is, I'm doing Uber and taxi as my example all semester, but let's say you're a barber. That's considered blue collar as well. Or you could also call it a trade. So if that is your topic, what are people arguing about when it comes to being a barber? Or hair salon? Why don't we say salon? Or a hairstylist? Okay, so if we just go to hairstylist, I bet there's something in the news about that because everything's closed and it's affecting people, right? So yeah, so here's virus stuff and a lot in that way. And under news articles, you can see there are quite a bit. We have audio links. Audio is great because then you can listen to it if you don't like to read so much, or you could pop it in your headphones maybe and go for a walk or whatever. Websites, magazines, news, and so on. So those are all the different context types. I always go to the full text documents and click that if it appears, because that means you want the whole article. You don't want something that says we have it, but we have to send away for it. Peer reviewed, I don't care. Like if it's in the databases, I trust it. Okay, I'm not going to make you go out and find articles that only have been peer reviewed by 3 other peer scholars and so on. I mean, we're just trying to figure out how to write a research paper here. We don't need it to be all that. I want it to be good, but it doesn't have to be all that. Okay, so as you scroll down, you can see that they're all broken down to types here, right? And those are the same types that you see up here. All right, now browse issues, though, is another way of searching. I used the search box, but you could also go to browse issues, and it will give you, this is if you're, let's say I told you you could write about anything, and you could pick your own topic, then you would look through here, right? And you could pick anything. So, under the R topic, though, then, maybe we want to pick, we'd have to figure out what our keywords are. I'm thinking employment might be a word, right, that we would look up. And pretty much everything people argue about is here. So, and of course, we don't see employment just because I said that. Okay, workplace diversity, something might be in there. Online education, now let's see. We could just look up whatever keyword we think our topic might fit into. I like that workplace idea. So, once you figure out what your topic is, and this is good to know for any paper that you're going to write, you can come here and look through these and see if you could find it. Poverty might open something up to being a blue collar worker, or retirement age here. So, but it might, in this case, since we already have a topic chosen, we might look up just blue collar and see what comes up. So blue collar work ethic, blue collar workers, voters town. Oh, hang on. So, there's a lot. Okay, we'll do that again. Blue collar workers or work. Okay. And once you start doing that, you'll see A lot of articles come up. These are academic. It's always going to start you in the academic journals. Okay, that means, academic journals are, just to decipher between source types, academic journals are written for scholars, right? And there aren't very many pictures. They look like journals, right? They're kind of boring to look at, but they're the kinds of journals that scholars read, and scholars get published, and PhD students get published in academic journals when they're writing and doing their thesis and so on. But you could also look up here into, say, news articles. Those are magazines. They have a lot of pictures. You could use PDF files to see, the way it was originally published in a magazine. I'll show you the picture document file, right? PDF. And you could also look at audio. Or now this is nice because it also has videos that talk about the topic and statistics. Images, you could cite an image, right, and talk about that in your paper. Well, I'm not asking you to use pictures in this paper, but in general research papers, sometimes you can include one. Let's skip that for this assignment, though. But statistics is nice because you can get numbers. If you want to quote how many people are doing something, okay, then whatever article or statistical link you choose will give you numbers. This way you could say, according to Brian Hoyle of whatever he's Looking into the Future magazine, okay, or Careers and Occupations, Looking into the Future magazine, this many people are doing this, right? All right, and then you could say that in your paper, and this gives you the MLA citation. It always says source citation at the end of these articles. Put that right on your works cited page, and you're done. The only error that sometimes happens is, you can see this is a title. Anything in quotes is a title. Make sure you pay attention to what's in quotes, what's in italics. Long works, main sources, those are in italics. Short works that we're quoting from, in those longer works that are in italics, are usually in quotes. And all of this, since it's a title, why isn't it not in title case, right? We need capital letters for medical insurance, P, P, E, E, P, right? All those should be capitalized. That's the only error that tends to happen in these citations. I don't know why. That's been like that the whole time I've been teaching. All 15 years I've seen that in source material. So I don't know why it does that, but fix that. Okay, and so there you have it. One source, if you wanted to use numbers, statistics tend to be very helpful. And sometimes just the difference between blue collar workers and blue collar work, you may get a whole different uh, set of articles just by changing that one word. So just be sure that you look through, and you might want to do a search based on your work type. So if I'm going to write my paper about Uber drivers, then yeah, I'm going to put in Uber, and then I'm going to look up taxi drivers. I might even look up Uber versus taxi. You have to play. You have to spend time here. Spend a night putting in different keywords, looking at articles. It's not something you can do in an hour. This kind of thing takes time, right? And find articles that are dealing with the kind of thing that you're writing about, okay? Yeah, some of the articles will be quite interesting, I'm sure. And so you want to look through and find something that you like, videos you may like. You could cite those too. It will show you how to cite them. Let's say I click on Uber tests autonomous cars. Well, that would be interesting. Not really what I'm looking to write about, though, so I might choose something like, on the road with Uber. Okay, what's a day in a life like? Although it looks like this might be pretty short. Okay, so if this is here, start a company and so on. Okay, so it will show you how to cite it. Here it is. Okay. Now, I'm telling you in your research paper to tell a story. Take us with someone on their job for a day. Use a little bit, we call those observations or profiles. You may hear that on the radio. If you listen to talk radio or you watch national news, they might say, so-and-so has this profile. And that means a reporter or a journalist profiled someone. They went with someone to the place they go, just like you're seeing in this video here, to see what a day in the life is like. Okay, now I'm not asking you to write an observation or a profile essay, but you could have an element of that in your research paper to help you build your argument as to what it's like, what it should be like, what it shouldn't be like, and all that kind of thing. Okay, it could be just part of your paper. So yeah, there are so many sources here. I'm just going to hit my back button and go back to the databases. And You also can save, you usually have options to save in a folder your findings at the end. So yeah, I'm not seeing that in this database this time, but usually does have options for that. Okay, so just keep in mind that you need 3 sources. I'm asking you to use the Opposing Viewpoints database, and this is the best database for these sources. Now, you can also use, another one that we use is called procon.org, and I would accept this, excuse me, just as much as Opposing Views. If you go to procon.org and you do a search, you can put your topic in there. I'm going to say Uber, pros and cons of Uber. It sounds a little on the high school side, but you may find some good stuff, right? So why not? So let's see, Uber, Lyft, and all that. You know, go in here and see what they have. Now, the nice thing about procon.org is they've got the pros on one side and the cons on the other. And look at that. Sometimes it's very long, but you know, that's great, right? That's what I'm looking for. So procon.org, another great resource. I also recommend NPR, National Public Radio.org. NPR is the station that got me to stop. I'm a musician. I've been a musician my whole life, and I don't even listen to music anymore because I'm so addicted to NPR. It's like listening to one research paper after the other. Every show that they do that's on, in my area, it's 88.7 FM. It's usually on the left of the dial on your FM station. In the 80s or early 90s, you'll hear an NPR station wherever you are in the country, and it's publicly funded. It's like PBS, and it's all smart people talking about everything. It's not boring, just old white people thing, like old white men academia things either. And pardon me for saying that, but we know how academia can be sometimes, like taking a music class and all they want to teach was classical music. But what if I want to learn, you know, Drake or whatever, right? So they, NPR talks about everything. There's nothing that's never been covered. I mean, I dare say that that's true. Watch if I put in Drake, so to speak, even, right? So you'll find, you might have to skim a little bit. You know, they talk about everything, is my point. Okay. And I'm not trying to play anything off. I know absolutely nothing about Drake. Okay. So once you're in here and you look for your topic, I put in Uber. I didn't even hit enter and it already came up. You know, they have everything in here. Okay, so NPR is an excellent source because let me summarize. What they have done here is they've created radio programming where they talk about all this, and then it ends up in the databases, in your databases. So a lot of what you're going to find when you're in Opposing Views is coming from NPR anyway. Okay, so you're just kind of skipping the middleman, and instead of going to the databases, going straight to NPR. Okay, so if I put in Uber again, I just want to show you how true that is. I bet a lot of the videos, maybe not the videos as much as the audio actually, are going to come from NPR. Yeah, All Things Considered, that's a show from NPR. Weekend Edition, that's a show on NPR. Morning Edition, those are all NPR shows. All of these. Weekend Edition Saturday, Morning Edition, these are all NPR. So they're coming straight from this website. So you can go there yourself if you want to skip the databases. The only difference is the NPR website will not give you the MLA citation. So wouldn't you want to go to this site and use your database because they know that you're an English student writing a paper and they've given you the citation. And you see the only difference is, you know, look at the citation. I mean, you would keep all this the same, except instead of putting the database at the end, you would put npr.org, right? Or NPR in italics, and then the link to the site. But this time you're not citing the site, you're citing the database. Okay, so if you wanted to go straight to the database or to the website though, then you would cite it as a website. So it would be the author, last name, comma, first name, the title of the article in quotes, NPR in italics, not .org, they don't like that, just this is the name of the site, NPR in italics, and then whoever published the site is your publisher. This is all in the MLA style sheet I gave you. And also they want to know who the publisher is. That's whoever copyrighted the page. It's always at the bottom. Sometimes you have news sites and they go on forever and you can't see the bottom of the page, then you skip it. You don't have a publisher. And then your link and when you found it. Not when you found it, I'm sorry, when it was published. And MLA no longer likes, when they don't care about when you found it, they just want to know when it was published. So that's how you would cite this as a website. You can look at the MLA style sheet in this week's folder, and it will also show you how to cite websites on page 7. Very, very helpful. Okay, so those are 3: npr.org, procon.org, and the Opposing Viewpoints databases on how you can find sources for your research paper. I'm here to help anytime, waiting for you to ask me questions, okay? And I hope everything goes well and that we can get this paper done as reasonably, I don't want this to be a part-time job for you, but, let's use our time to be smart and, use the databases, because Google's like a big thrift store. You go in there and it'll take you forever to find something. So the databases have already done it for you. Okay, I'll stop. Take care. Talk soon.